Okay, and we are live, guys, today. Hey, Lon, how you doing? Hey, Cass, how you doing, love? Listen, today we have also returning Mr. Gill. He's returning. He was here with us last week. This week, we also have Mr. David Ponton.
Yes, ma'am.
Both are from Grambling. Both represent Grambling. Um, and we're going to discuss some topics that we're going to elaborate more on what we started on last week. He's
Amen.
primarily here because as a favorite, a new favorite of mine, because he's also the athletic director as well as the assisted student. What was that?
I'm the VP for Student Affairs.
The VP for Student Affairs,
Yes,
which
ma'am.
we always need to know about, especially if we have students and children that are going to participate and go to college, because
Yes, ma'am.
that's our goal. So, um, TC,
Yes, Bama girl.
let's get started. I'm pretty sure as soon as everybody gets their notification. Oh yeah, they're starting to pile in. Um,
Yes.
They're starting to pile in. Come on in. Do not forget to ring my doorbell. I don't like it when you enter Bama Girl's house without ringing the doorbell, which means thumbs up in the video.
There you
Like,
go. Don't
share,
do it.
and subscribe if you are not subscribed. Thank you so much. Hey, Denise. Hey, December, baby. How are you doing? What's going on, babe? Yes, we are here to discuss education. Yes. Hey, cousin, how you doing, cousin? What's going on, baby? We are here to discuss education and all things related thereto. Okay. Hey, Goddess Love, how you doing? Hey, Andrea, how you doing, love bug? I am Wonder Woman. Yes, I am too. Hey, babe. Hey, Bema. Hey, panelists and chat. Yes. Are you headed to work, baby? Be safe. Be careful. Wear your mask. You're in the hospital, baby. Please be careful. I need you to stay around. Okay. Hey, the BBK. How you doing, love?
Hey, there we
Enchantress,
go.
Melanin Queen. Yes. Hey, Q. How you doing, love?
I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I can hardly hear you, love.
Oh, okay. 1 second. I don't want to turn it up too loud because I don't want it to be an echo.
Okay, you're fine.
Okay.
Hey, hey, Destiny, how you doing? I love you, Marcazo.
The
Hello,
comments
everybody
are
in the
raining in.
chat. What's going on, panel? How you guys doing?
Good. How
I'm
you
doing,
doing?
doing
Hi.
okay. How are
Okay,
you?
Good
I'm
Q.
good. I'm good. I'm good.
okay, Q. Today we have Mr. David. He's VP of Student Affairs. He's
Hold on.
also
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm okay. Go ahead. Say that again now.
he's also the athletic director. So
Okay.
I'm always interested in that. Of course, you're always interested in that because you have a track star
I
out there,
do.
and GSU is definitely representing in the house this evening. Yes. Now, let's start with TC.
Yes. Hey, Bama girl. How you doing? Q.
I'm doing well, love
And
bug.
Hey,
and to
TC.
hey, and to the chat. I'm excited. Graham, Gil, I'm always excited when you're around. When HBCUs are around, Gramblin's in the house. We have somebody new that we're getting ready to dive into and ask a whole lot of questions. So just know that this is
Yes.
yeah, this is gonna be awesome because oftentimes um we're usually asking questions of just the admissions director, and the admissions director gets a lot of people asking him or her questions. I think
I'm
this
sorry, I
time
lost my feed.
Okay. Just oftentimes the admissions director always gets a lot of questions. However, David, we still have a lot of our students who are interested in sports and interested in going into the various sports at the various colleges and universities at the
Right.
at the HBCU level. So I just wanted it was very important for you to come on because that's a grueling process. And I wanted, I thought it would be it would take
I'm
a
sorry, I
whole
can't hear.
Oh, you can't hear us? Uh-oh. Jackson State University, the sonic boom is in the building. Yes.
Sonic Boom.
Yes.
Really? Where's that at? I didn't see that one.
Let's see.
I'm sorry, you guys, I can't hear.
We hear you just fine.
Can you hear us now,
Can
David?
you hear any of us, David?
Can you hear me? Might have to log out and log back in.
Yeah, he may have to.
Might be
Yeah,
on,
there
might be on
she
a
is.
bad connection.
I am Wonder Woman.
Yeah, I'm back now.
Okay, you can
Okay,
hear
good.
us?
Thank you.
Can you
Back
hear now,
Yes, I'm
David?
sorry.
Okay,
Yes, I
good.
can hear now. Thank you.
There she is. There she is, Gil. JSU,
Alrighty.
baby. Yes, home of the sonic boom. I am Wonder Woman. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's the best thing about it. That sonic boom. I'm just saying. I'm not even throwing shade. That's not shady. Not shady at all.
That's all right.
Not shady.
But I
HBCU
do
love.
like the sonic boom. I do.
It's
That's
HBCU
right.
love.
So David, we welcome you to our wonderful HBCU virtual tour, our HBCU virtual family. As you can tell, we have a lot of folks that are graduates of various HBCUs, all of the HBCUs in the house. Say,
Yes,
hey, what's up?
ma'am.
Rep your,
Hey.
hey, myself, rep your school, y'all rep your school.
Y'all had better rep the schools in the chat. They are.
Mhm.
Mine is
Okay.
Lincoln University, Missouri.
All right.
Lincoln University, Missouri.
And
All right.
everybody knows Aggie born, Aggie bred, and when I die, I'll be Aggie dead. You see?
Uh-oh. Kim says WSSU.
Yeah.
Oh, Winston-Salem. Okay. So, David, first and foremost, thank you for coming on. Thank you for coming on at the last minute. And of course, we love Gil because I know he played a big part in you getting here. Bama Girl, thank you for your platform. Thank you for your live. Always making sure that we present and promote education, especially our HBCUs.
Yeah.
And of course, Miss Q always there in the wing for our dissertation disclaimers.
I'm about to post one now.
Yes. So, David, first and foremost, we want to know who you are. What's up with you? Who are you? Where are you from? Who, what, where, when, why, and how?
Okay, that is a long story. I've been in higher education for over 30 years, okay? But I'm a small country boy from South Louisiana, a little place called Melville. Population 1,543, 44, because a cow had a calf the other day. We got to count everything. In order to get out. We got to count everything. But I was born and raised in a small community. I attended Southern University, our rival. I'm an engineer by degree, major from there. I played college basketball there for 4 years. I actually graduated from Southern, went on and worked as an engineer in industry for a couple of years, and God came to me and said, you need to work with our kids. And that's been my goal ever since then. I left the corporate world to come into higher education. I started here at Grambling 30 years ago, and I've been here ever since. They say when you drink the water here, you drink 3 glasses of water, you don't leave. Obviously, that's the case with me. So I've been here. I've got my master's here. I've got my doctorate here at Grambling State University. I'm very student-centered. Everybody, I coached for over 20 years. I coached men's basketball. I coached women's basketball. I've coached internationally. I've been on the student affairs side for over 10 years now. I am the vice president for student affairs, and I'm currently also the athletic director. So when you see Coach P, most of my kids call me Coach P. My friends call me Rusty. But when you see me, you're going to see a guy who loves students, who loves an HBCU, who believes that all of our HBCUs are out here doing great work. and we are more of a team than what we are opponents. We only opponents
Okay.
on Saturday evenings or on Saturday afternoons at a football game or at a basketball game, baseball, whatever.
Yes.
Any other time, we're pulling for our kids to be successful
Yes.
wherever
Yes.
they are and whatever they do. So I thank you, Bama Girl, and I thank you, TC Queen,
No problem.
that you guys have us on to spotlight some of the things that we try to do here at Grambling State University to ensure that our kids continue to get that HBCU education and that HBCU experience.
Right.
Right. Let me ask you a question, Dr. David.
Coach P, Coach P, because coaches are more respected, loved, than doctors, lawyers, and some preachers. So most of my people.
Okay, a lot of preachers. A lot of preachers.
I'm not going to get into that biblical because I don't want to get in trouble.
I'm just saying.
Well, you're right, but no, that's fine. Whatever you, Dr. P, Coach P, whatever is fine with me, Queen.
Okay, and I hear you, and I'm gonna just say Dr. P one time because I love to see and hear my brothers and sisters with the doctor in front of
Yes,
it.
ma'am.
Reason, and let me just say why. Everybody can't get it.
Yes, ma'am.
Everybody won't get it.
Understood.
And that's real rap. So, but I appreciate your humility, and I appreciate where you come from. That amongst the family, that you still keep it 100.
Yes, ma'am.
I love you for that.
Ma'am.
David, Doc, I'm gonna ask you another question, and then I'm gonna turn it over to the rest of the panel and the chat. You mentioned, all the things that you've done. Are you a part of any organizations? Are you, when you were in school, did you get to be a part of any organizations? If you, oh boy, I think I saw.
Oh my God.
The ice is cold.
Did I just see?
my.
Okay.
Oh, Q, do you see that?
I
It's
see
cold
that.
over
I
here.
was taking
Ice,
over.
ice, baby. Too
Yeah.
cold.
Oh, it's cold.
Okay.
There it is.
Yes, I did. I am a member of Alpha Phi Alpha Fraternity Incorporated. Proud member for over 30 years. I'm Spring 85. So yeah, probably before you were born. So so it's been a while.
I think we were all around.
Well,
y'all look kind of young.
I was just about to say, not for any of us all around.
Well, he's right. I wasn't around. So anyway, 85. I remember that. 85, baby. What? That was a good year, honey. Not just for wine, but that was a good year.
Oh, I hear you.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
I remember a whole lot of lines went over then at that year. Wow, amazing.
Yes,
so. And my last question, and that's going to be it for me until we get into some more questions. HBCUs, the necessity of our HBCUs, the necessities for our HBCUs and our Black men, the necessity for our HBCUs, our Black men, and when do we get started with introducing our young people to college?
Well, I'm going to say this. I recently had a conversation with a other race person who questioned the validity of our institutions, of HBCUs. And that was touchy right off the bat. And
exactly.
We have another institution 4 miles away, Louisiana Tech University, and they basically said, why should I pay my hard-earned tax dollars to support both Grambling State University and Louisiana Tech when those students from Grambling could go to Louisiana Tech? And that was another elder, and this guy was supposed to be educated. This guy was a former professor from Arizona or whatever. So basically, I looked at him. I said, well, sir, obviously you're not from this area. I said, but let me tell you a little bit about Grambling State University. And I lead in on him. I said, we graduate more African Americans in CIS than any other institution in this country, white or black. I said, we contribute over $300 million a year to this North Louisiana community. You take Grambling out of this community, you take that $300 million out of this community. Not only do we do that, we have graduates who have made impacts all over this world, have done things that affect you that you don't even know about. And I started listing some of the names of some of the greats. And I'm not listing any athletes at this particular point. So when he started, after a while, after about 15, 20 minutes, the other guy looked at him and said, I guess he told you to hunt. You were right. We have a place. You know, when a student comes to HBCU, they're coming for that HBCU for that experience. They're not going to get that experience at a PWI. Not taking anything away from PWIs. They have their advantages. But when you come there, the lifelong experiences that you're gonna experience at a HBCU, the friends, the families, that you're gonna take with you, I can count the number of people who some of my friends who've gone to PWIs who say they go back home for homecoming to PWI. That's never a conversation when you talk about HBCU. When you're talking about going back and recreating those memories and those bonds that you will have for life. And that relationship that you develop, and I've coached in this conference, the SWAC conference, for over 20 years. The relationship I have with all of those HBCUs is something I would never trade. I mean, I have friends at Alabama State, Alabama A&M, Alcorn, Jackson State. I have people who I know if I called today and I needed blood given to me, they would give blood. You know,
Wow.
and we know the same. So my thing is that experience that a young, and especially a young African-American male, when I go out and I speak to groups and I tell them that, I tell our kids that if without a college education, 7 out of 10 African-American males will be incarcerated at some particular point in their life. Right. 7 out of 10. So we can't afford to lose 7 of our young men to incarceration or to death or to any of these things as far as not. So the institution that you need to be in is an institution of higher learning. That way you can control. You have more control, not totally control because God is in control, but you can better control your outcome and your circumstances. You cannot do that out in the streets without an education. You cannot do that. That's a short-lived, dead-end job that you're looking for out there that you don't have. Not taking anything away from anyone who doesn't want to go to college or get a college degree. There are many other opportunities, but history has shown that if you go to a university, your chances of succeeding are much better than what you do if you did not. So when you say when to start, I say you start them from the time they can crawl, from the time you put on their shirt when they're little babies.
Pushing education.
Shirt, you start pushing it then. You start telling them, because in my household, it wasn't a choice. You didn't have a choice whether you were going to college or not. They said you're going to school. You know, so you grow up knowing that, hey, you're going to school. And I think if we put that out to make that prevalent, our young men and our young ladies are going to do, and our young ladies are doing a great job. Our young ladies, you know, they go out, they take care of the business, but that's you as a Black woman. You've done that. You've done it throughout civilization. You know, Black women have carried us throughout civilization. So you've done that. We got to get more of our young men to realize that, hey, we got to take a more of a leadership role. We got to retake where we are in the history. We got to be kings to our queens. We got to be princes to our princesses. So those are the things that we try to instill. And when you leave here, we say you're going to leave here a better man than what you were when you came in here.
Absolutely.
Yes. Indeed. Okay. Indeed.
Bama girl, look, you know, of course he just made my day. My soul feels so. I'm ready to go down the Grambling right
come
now.
On, baby.
I got chill bumps. Just from him saying that, I got chill bumps. Because everything that he said is correct. And by me being like a part of the correctional side of it, because I mean, the prison, that's a level 5 prison. And you got lifers, you have natural lifers, and there are quite a few. I mean, the population is 70% Black male. You know, and all of them could have, you know, had they made different choices in life, they could be a part of corporate America. They could be the entrepreneurs. They could be, you know, and that's just at one prison.
Right.
That's not even thinking about all of the prisons combined. It's ridiculous. And we're here in Florida. I have t-shirts right now with the whole state surrounded by barbed wire. You know, come on vacation, leave on probation. And there are a lot. It's like they don't push higher education to our young Black males. And if it's not us, the parents in the home, it's definitely not going to be the school.
Exactly.
We've been down that road. You know what I'm saying? We've been there with the student counselor. Oh, I think you'll be better for this. How are you going to tell a student with a GPA of 3.5 that he would be better being a auto mechanic. How does that even work? So of
And there's
course, you know,
nothing,
I flip my wig, but that's you know,
and there's nothing
that's
wrong
not
with being an auto
unusual for me.
mechanic. There's nothing wrong with being an auto mechanic, but give him the opportunity to go see there. He might be the engineer who develops the parts for that auto mechanic. Let him build the engine. Let him be the person who's going to get the patents, not just the one who works on the engine.
Right.
Exactly.
And I told him, I said, you can't be discouraged by that conversation. Your granddad owns 2 auto body shops right now. So that's saying nothing. That right there, you take that and you expound upon that, because the more you try to keep me down, the higher I'm going to go up. And me,
Amen.
I'm the mother that pushes him, all of them, up.
Amen.
You know, for higher learning. When I went to school, I think they thought that the last time I went to school, the last degree I got, because I'm a mortician, the last degree that I got, I think they thought that my head was gonna spin off my shoulders at one point. You know, because you know, becoming a mortician it's a hard program, but it's well worth it on the back end. Now, they had to watch me go through it. Oh, it's hard. It's worth it.
Amen.
That's right.
It's worth it. Anything worth having, you're going to have to work for it. Nobody,
right.
Don't expect anybody to give you anything. Of course, me as the mama bear, I'm setting them up, but I want them to have that higher education. I would love for it to be at an HBCU now.
Right.
Right.
I mean, I'm gonna be Bama. I'm going to be Bama because that's in my DNA.
Wait. It's official?
Get it, Gil.
It's official?
Gil's sending
Come
the
on now.
application as we speak. Have the
careful.
application filled out right.
Gil, why would you put me on the spot? Huh? Because I'm the momager?
That's right.
So I would love
Great, Gil.
for him, or especially him, because he's the one that's graduating next. But I would love to him to have the HBCU experience. I would.
But I have his name, his 6'5" frame, and the position that he played, and I will be calling Coach Fobbs immediately after I get off this call.
Show me love.
Mr. David.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Bama girl, this is what we're looking for. This is what we've been looking for. Black men, our kings, to come in and do and build for our community. This is what we've been looking for.
Listen, he's doing the work. My hands are down.
Yes,
it's out of my hands.
You've done your part. You've given me the information. You've done your part. So I will take it from here.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Research the history of the university and all of the NFL products that they have produced. Hall of Famers.
That's right.
HBCU national championships, SWAC championships, and you'll see that his experience is going to be second to none. The exposure, the type of quality competition that they play, it's absolutely. He's going to get the same type of experience that some of the PWIs might be recruiting, and all our games are televised. He's going to get that exposure. So it'll happen.
Again, I'll say this. You guys have heard of the Bayou Classic, that little game we play in New Orleans every year called the Bayou Classic.
Yeah, we heard of the Bayou Classic.
Guess what? There are a lot of PWIs who would love to be able to have 65,000 people have an audience like that where they play in front of 65,000 people every year. And along with all the other things that go with the game, the band, the cheerleaders, the dances, the experience. And you guys know how it is. You know how when you get that feeling and you get a chance to play in that atmosphere or to be a part of that atmosphere as a fan or someone who loves the game, you'll say, okay, now this is it. This is it.
Right.
Yes.
Don't forget, Dr. David. Don't forget the tailgating parties.
Oh,
don't
my goodness! Come on now.
Tailgating parties.
Oh yes.
Okay.
Oh yes.
But Dr. David and Gil, on a serious note, and then Bama Girl Q, y'all chime in. But I do have this is the one of my last questions because it's on my heart to ask this question. As from your professional experience, from your humble experience, are you all experiencing this thing in our community. Everybody wants to be the biggest and the baddest, the toughest and the roughest. The educated, the ones that are smart get the I don't want to say the hand-me-down attention, but they don't get the attention. But the ones that the roughest and the toughest and the ones that are causing a lot of havoc are the ones that are getting a lot of attention. We revel in, who can be the baddest, who can, fight and cuss and fuss the most and things of that nature. Are you all seeing that phenomenon play out at our HBCU level?
With TCU, and TC, I want to answer from my position of the VP for Student Affairs. In my position as the VP for Student Affairs, our job is to make sure our students are in a safe environment conducive to learning. We don't have time for that mess. I'm just going to be honest with you. And we just talked to, I was just telling Bama Girl about when the kid come by me and his pants are sagging, boy, pull your pants up.
Right.
I don't want to see the crack of your tail. We don't do that. If you're not modeling underwear and getting paid for it, I don't need to see your underwear.
Right.
So if you're not getting paid for it, then I don't need to. And even if you are getting paid for it, this is not the forum for that. Right. We do not tolerate that. We want our young men and our young ladies to be respectful. We want them to come in and understand that you live in a society that, yes, although you have to run twice as fast to get to the finish line, that's no excuse for not getting to the finish line. Although you have to, work twice as hard to achieve your goals, that's no reason for you not to achieve your goals. That's just part of life. And if you can't accept that, and if you want to take the shortcuts and be the baddest and the loudest and that kind of thing, our HBCUs are not a place for you. Right. They're not a place for you. Though these are places that people have laid the foundation for, who've gone before you, who have sweated blood, tears, died to give you this opportunity, who have built legacies at our institutions. And we are not going to let you come in and degrade that legacy. I tell them all the time, if you're here to do wrong, you're not going to be here long. I'm going to tell you that. So we know kids will do things, and young people will try things, they experiment, that kind of thing. You're not going to be carrying guns. You're not going to be out here selling drugs. You're and we not catch you and you get away from you. We're going to make sure that we keep our students safe. And if we have somebody who's trouble, yes, we work with you. We're not going to just throw you away. But if you are hell-bent on being a distraction to the general student body, you cannot stay here at Grambling State University.
Right.
It's better to cut off that finger than to lose your hand.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And I can love you from afar. If you need me to come visit you, then if you just want to be in one of those institutions, Bama Girl, then we'll visit you and we'll try to help you once you're in. But we're not trying to let you use this as an avenue to get to one of those institutions.
No. And one thing about it, I would hate to have to. I will always be worried. Let me just say that. I'm a worrier, so that's what I do. So I will always be worried. I will always do a pop-up. I will always, just that's just me.
I tell the parents when they bring out their students to our institution, I say, when you leave your child with us, we take that personally. That is my child now. That is one of our kids now.
That's right.
We hurt when they hurt. We get mad when they do stuff they don't have any business doing. We happy and we laughing when they're doing stuff they should be doing. It's part of the HBCU culture. So if you do not want your child, if I can't tell your child if I see them doing something wrong, hey, you can't do that, then this is probably not the place to be. If we can't more or less raise you or help you to mature into the person that we know that you can be, because you're just hell-bent on doing the wrong thing, and like, for instance, I'll give you an example. You do not respect your parents in front of me. You're not going to talk to your mama any kind of way. You're not going to talk to your daddy, because if you're doing that to them, I know you don't respect me. So I respect us. So I give you this quick one. I know I'm maybe talking too much. I had a parent say, Coach, can you help me? I called my daughter and she don't answer the phone. I said, hold up. Who pays that phone bill? She said, well, I do. I said, cut it off right now. Cut the phone off right now and see how quickly she get back into you.
Oh,
she cut the phone off. She got back with them in the next 2 or 3 minutes. What's wrong with my phone? I said, that's how you got, and that's what we have to do. We have to let them know that, hey, I'm your parent. I'm the one who's footing the bill. I'm going to take care of you. Then you have to do those things that we need you to do in order to be successful. And just do the right thing.
and the right thing is not hard to do.
It's much easier than trying so hard to do the wrong thing.
Right. It's much easier to do the right thing. You know,
Exactly.
I feel like, especially when it comes down to mine, of course, they're boys. Boys will be boys. He has been playing football, and I think his mind has already put him in the NFL because he expects a whole lot from his mother. and I mean, his mother,
right,
you know, his mother is to blame, you know, a lot. His mother is definitely to blame, especially when, now see, coach, I would never disrespect you. I would. But these coaches, some of them, you know, some of the coaches that he has played for, they'll let the boys fight on the field. I don't agree with.
No, man.
They'll let the boys, you know, and me, I'm a whole mama bear, so now I'm in protection mode, and I have to run out, you know, on the field. And I know I can't do it. They told me not to do it.
Yeah, don't run out.
They've given me 100 warnings.
Don't run out there on the field, Bama girl. Let us take care. Don't run out there on the field.
Yeah, but they not, some of them, they don't take care of it fast enough for me. I mean, you know, that was, you know, a little while ago, but I've been banned, you know, so I have to sit, you know, sit and just, you know, I'm bad when it comes down to that. I do know at the college level, there are a lot of things that I won't be able to do.
Right.
I do know that.
Well, the good thing about it, I can say this about our athletic programs, and especially I can speak directly to my head football coach right now, Coach Fobbs. Coach Fobbs is a product of Coach Robinson. Coach Fobbs has a lot of the traditions and a lot of the things that he learned as a coach from his father and from Coach Rob. He exudes on. He's in the business of producing young men. And that, when I say young men, you're going to be respectful. You're going to dress right. You're going to talk right. Even when you're not doing the right things, you're going to know that you're not doing the right things, and you're going to be held accountable for that. We don't expect you to be perfect, but at the same time, you know what the bar is, where the bar is set. The bar is set high, and if you set the bar there, it's for a reason. It's for a reason. And to your statement about your son, a lot of our kids think they go straight into the league. There's a lot of development, a lot of maturity, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, that they have to prepare for. And we feel like we do a good job of doing that with our students, just period. Helping you to get to that point where you're mature enough to go out into the world and be successful. Yes, again, like we said, we know you're going to make mistakes, and we're going to be here to help you. At the same time, you're not going to be a crutch, though. We're going to tell you, okay, this is this, this is that. These are the expectations. These are the consequences of your actions.
Right. And I mean, just like just like what you just said, these are the expectations. Should you go against those? These are
the consequences.
And I don't think that's nothing.
Well, you know, we hear kids say all the time, my intentions have nothing to do with consequences.
No,
nothing to do with consequences. So when your intentions, you need to be reflective of the fact that with each intent, there's a consequence. And if you know, I have this one little rule I give the kids all the time. If it's going to be on the front page of the paper and your mom and your dad are going to be embarrassed by it, then guess what? If there's a question on whether or not you should do it or not, just don't do it.
Right.
If you got a question on that and you're making the front page, mine know not to do it because I'm not coming.
I hear you.
I'm not coming because you didn't have to do it. I'm not coming. No.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, you had a choice. You had a choice between doing the right thing or the wrong thing. Now, if you make the paper because you did something good, mine gonna be right there.
We right here. We're
gonna be
exactly.
I'm gonna be right there with you, grinning right along with you now. But now if you're doing something bad and you make the front page, like
Got you.
I can't stand, and that's what my dad always told me. If something happens and you decide to do wrong and you end up going to jail, don't call me. I'm not the first call for help.
Got you.
Don't call me because
Yes,
you
ma'am.
didn't have to do it.
And you know
Well,
what?
And in our
A
house,
lot of
we had
parents stand by their children even when they're doing wrong. I'm
right.
not that. I
Sometimes
mean, I stand by you, I support you, but I will never condone the wrong, and I'll be the one to make you have to take those consequences. I
yeah.
can't.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not one of those parents that, oh, not my baby. My baby wouldn't do that, and not my.
Mhm.
You know,
Mm-mm.
I'll support and I'm standing by them, but whatever consequences come, that's what you're gonna have to deal with. I know I had to,
Right.
and I
Right.
knew when I was doing wrong. I knew when I was
We
doing
love.
wrong.
We're gonna love you regardless. We're gonna
Oh yeah,
love
gonna
you.
love you regardless.
Well, the love doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah, but the consequences gonna be right there for you. I told my
Right.
daughter. I told my daughter she made a 32 on the ACT when she was coming out of high school. She had a 3.9 GPA. She was recruited to
Yes.
go to a lot of the Ivy League schools because of her ACT test scores. And my conversation with her mother at the time was that first degree is going to be at a HBCU
Right.
because she's been in schools all of her young life, with schools where she was with other race kids and that kind of thing, and she graduated from a school that was a top 5% school in the nation. But I told her she's going to go to a HBCU because she's going to learn those values, those things. She's going to be around us. She's going to have to deal with us because in the real world, that's what she's going to have to deal with anyway. So
Right.
when she went, and it was the best decision she ever made. She graduated.
Lost. You might have lost power. We gotta.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, I know we got a thunderstorm over here, so it's happening right now.
Can you guys hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes,
I'm
we
sorry.
can hear you.
My phone, someone ringing on my phone, and I can't hear you guys now, but I think I know how to get it back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You can hear us?
I'll let you go. I can't
Yeah,
hear you
I
guys
can
now, but
hear
I'll let
you.
you guys go, and I'll try to get it back, get the feedback. Okay.
Yeah. So to add to some of the things that you were talking about, and we touched on this, and you were talking, mentioning something about, they do something wrong or if they break the law. Not only that, we touched about this before, is the social media aspect of it. They're making sure that they're not doing anything to embarrass themselves or embarrass the family or embarrass the university through social media. I tell students, don't even post that you're having a drink on social media because there's folks that are judgmental about that aspect of it. So make sure you always have that clean, polished image. When the cameras are off, if you want to, throw one up, that's up to you. But don't do things to embarrass yourself or that can impact the likelihood of you getting hired somewhere. Those are the things that
Exactly.
you need to think about.
Exactly.
Now, Coach David, this is my son Quentin.
I don't know if he can hear you. I
I
don't know if
think
he
he
can hear
lost.
you, Bama.
Yeah, I think he's still looking for the signal.
You good?
Can you hear us,
Coach.
Coach? Can you hear us, Coach? Yeah, I'm not sure if he can hear us just yet. Yeah.
Can you hear us, Coach?
Yeah, I don't think he can.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he might not be able to hear us. So
Wow. What kind of a storm do you all have, Gil?
we've had severe weather advisories like all day. So if you look at the Doppler radar, you can see a storm that's passing through right now. So and we're in the middle of it.
Okay.
So in case you lose me, it's because we might have lost power. And then, so that means the Wi-Fi signal. We have a tornado warning for the next 6 hours.
Yes.
Uh,
Yes, and I apologize. That's part of what's happening with me too. The signal is going in and out on this end. We got real
Okay.
bad weather here. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, we have
So
real
Don,
bad weather.
Bama Girl wants to introduce you to her son.
Yeah, I just wanted to make a quick introduction. This is this giant of a son that I have
I'm-
here. I don't even think I can fit him on the thing here.
No, you can't fit him. I can't see him, but he looks like a G-man to me.
Absolutely.
He
Absolutely.
looks like.
Wow.
What's up, big fella? What's up, big fella? Look at that G on his chest. Unzip that hoodie, son. I see a G on your chest right there.
There's gonna be an S. That's my Superman.
I see a G on it. Nice meeting you, son. Keep doing it. I've heard tremendous things about your GPA and everything. Keep being the young black man that we're looking for. Okay, son?
Yes, sir. Good.
All right, baby. All right. Good seeing you. I know it took a lot for you to get on. Mama put you on blast, but we'll take that. Sometimes you deserve to be put on blast.
Oh, wow. Nice.
That's great. That's great. Thank you for.
Wow.
I can see his face.
Tall.
Yeah. That's G-man caliber. That. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Yes. We
Oh,
might have to
well.
put the black and gold on that red over the top of that red. We got red in our colors too.
We got it right over here.
Yeah. We got red in our colors too. It was nice meeting you, son. Keep up the good work.
Yeah, we need some of that Duval swag over here. Duval. That's what
I think she's frozen now. Okay.
Yeah, she's frozen.
And Gil, I need to make sure I get Bama Girl's number so I can.
You will.
I'll make sure I get that number so I can call.
Okay.
Certainly, Doc.
I can have our head coach call you.
Okay.
Oh,
Excellent.
yeah.
And this is the reason why, Doc, that the concept of these HBCU tours were put forth, but way before COVID.
Right.
But because I'm an HBCU grad, and oftentimes it's really hard to always make the various events and things of that nature.
Right.
But this right here, this is live. We have a wonderful chat. They're asking questions. They're very attentive. They're doing things. And also we have questions from the panel. We want to make sure that it can go, and our reach is insurmountable.
Exactly. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But at the same time, we are still able to now still network like we would if we were at the homecoming or at the classic,
Yes.
because we can't ever dilute that, because that type of networking is no other type of networking than that.
No, there's no substitute for that. There's no substitute for that. Yeah,
absolutely not.
I appreciate you guys giving us a forum, all HBCUs a forum and a platform, because we know this is where our kids are. Our kids are on these platforms, and we have to meet them where they are. And the only way we can get them to see our stories is if they see individuals like yourself and other individuals who've attended HBCU and say, hey, if I can do what I'm doing, and I was a product of an HBCU, then you can also. So we want them to see those success stories like yourself, and like you guys, so they can see that, hey, everything that I may dream of doing, I can do. Just like when we were just talking about Quentin, anything that he could dream about as far as football is concerned has occurred at Grambling State University. Doug Williams won a Super Bowl. He is an MVP of the Super Bowl. We have Hall of Famers. Unfortunately, we just lost one. Willie Brown just passed, one of our Hall of Famers. But anything athletically, and even academically that a student athlete would want to, or a student peer would want to experience, they can experience it at an HBCU, and we would love for you to experience that at Grambling State University.
So, quick question, Doc. And of course, Gil, if you're able to chime, because this whole thing about the process, the admissions process is one thing, but the admissions process for an athlete, as we call it here in Philadelphia, the scholar ballers, all right, is a little bit, there are a couple of extra steps, and it's a little bit more intense. So how would you suggest or recommend a parent and the child get ready, prepare for their entree into into college, as far as the college admissions process is concerned?
Now, Gil, you want to go ahead and answer the admissions part, and I'll just chime in at the end about the athletic piece.
Sure. So with the admissions part is mainly is applying and turning in all your documents and the transcripts, test scores, having that follow up, visiting campus. You want to visit the campus before you make that major life decision, and to make sure that it's the right fit for you. I mean, I love my HBCU, but everything is not for everybody. They're going to find some things that are going to be, the first and foremost, I want to make sure that we have your major, because that's what you're going to be doing for the rest of your life. So whether that's going to be in broadcasting, if you're going to be an engineer, computer science, cybersecurity, we want to make sure that we have your major. So taking those steps as far as applying to the college, visiting the college, speaking to some students, attending a football game, and so that's part of your decision-making process. And then from athletics, then I'll let Coach Pete take over the rest.
Yes, there are a number of different ways you can get into a university through athletics. One of which is through the recruiting process. If you're involved in the recruiting process, then that student athlete is going to be wooed, so to speak, to come to the university. They're going to know. The coaches are going to be talking to them. They're going to tell them about those things they need to do as far as initial eligibility is concerned. You have to have the core courses, and you have to take that. Well, this particular year, because of COVID-19, there's no school. The NCAA has waived the ACT or the SAT scores as far as requirements for initial eligibility. Initial eligibility is what will allow you to actually receive a scholarship your freshman year coming into an institution. If you're not a recruited student athlete and you were much like me, a walk-on student athlete, you will go through the initial process, much like what Gil is telling you that you're going through, but you have to get your information to those coaches. With me, it was the basketball coach. I made calls. Hey, I'm going to be coming to Southern University. I got an engineering and academic scholarship. I was offered some basketball scholarship at other institutions, so I would like to try out for the basketball team. The coach said, hey, come on, try out. Then you go out and you get that opportunity. But the biggest thing, being a coach for over 20 years and being in athletics all this time, the biggest thing we're going to look at first is a level of commitment that you have to your education. If you're not committed to going to school, that's going to be an additional hurdle to get you into that institution. With APRs and graduation rates being so important now, students who are not serious about school are probably not going to be serious about school in high school, are not going to be serious about school in college.
Right.
The demands on your time, the strenuous nature of college athletics, all of those things are multiplied 10 times. So when you get to college, not only do you have to deal with what's happening back at home with mama and daddy, now you got to deal with, I got coaches, I got teachers, I got study hall, I got weights, I got girls who just loving me to death, big fella, cute. They're gonna be, but I'm gonna keep them off on you now. I'm gonna do my best to keep them off on you because it's 8-1.
It's 8-1. The mama.
Exactly. It's like literally 8-1 at our institution as far as male to female. So right. So, but we try to make sure that those student athletes understand that you have to stay focused, realize what you're here for initially, and that's to get your education, your original reason for being, to get your education, and then all the other stuff will fall into place. Athletics will fall into place. If you work hard and do the things that you need to do, it will fall into place. And like I was saying about those non-recruited student athletes, I'm a non-recruited student athlete, went to Southern University, played 4 years, a Hall of Famer at Southern University, and a Hall of Famer in the SWAC, because I wanted to do the best I possibly could do as far as my books and on the court. So you can do it. No one can tell you, no one can measure the size of your heart. I wasn't the fastest. I was probably the only guy on the team who couldn't dunk on any given moment. I had to have an excited moment to be able to dunk. But I got the opportunity, and once I got the opportunity, I made sure I took care of my eligibility, stayed good in my books. I graduated top of my class in engineering from Southern University. So it was those type of commitments that you make to what you're doing, whatever you're doing, whether it's your academics, athletically, socially, spiritually, whatever. Those kind of commitments are what will get you to that platform that you're going to call yourself successful.
And I think that the commitment of all of those things is what will get you to the goal that you're trying to accomplish.
That's it.
Spiritually, physically, academically,
Emotionally, mentally, all of those things.
emotionally and mentally, especially. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yes.
I can't say that, a lot of the students at some point in time aren't going through some bout of depression, you know.
Right.
Okay, there's a lot of weight, the weight of the world is literally on your shoulders at this time. Me myself personally, I don't want my son having to worry about what's all going on back at home. I wouldn't even tell him. If there
Right.
was a problem, I wouldn't tell him, because he
Right.
does not need to be worried about what's going on at home. What he needs to be focusing on is the goal.
Yeah. And Bama girl, I want you to know this now. We have so many of our students who literally, unlike you, their family back home, they're literally taking care of people back home with their refund checks, with their,
Oh wow.
working jobs, doing things, and it is. I mean, I want everyone out there to understand that this particular time, especially, they should be allowed to be kids. They should be allowed
Right.
to enjoy the process of being admitted to, going to college, all the ups and downs. They should be allowed of that process. But kids are forced into situations these days, especially in this particular environment, where they have so much weight on their world, the recruiting process, the pressures of whether or not, like you say, I'm going straight from high school, am I going to the league? Every student athlete in this country who wants to go to the pros thinks they're already pro ready. Every last one of them. But there's so much that's in between that.
I got one that's like that.
Right. And it's a gift from God. You got to realize that it's not just God-given talent. It's being in the right place at the right time, doing the right things.
And that's what my dad told him. Now, my dad is he's a minister, and he told him, he said, son, you have a gift from God.
Amen.
You have to use that gift to the best of your ability. You are a young black man with a gift and with a whole lot to lose. So you definitely have to use everything that you've been blessed with to the best advantage that you can. And my dad told him this a couple of years ago, and that's what he's been doing.
And it's upon us to help them reach those goals by helping them realize those gifts and helping them to keep them on the right track and helping them kind of not living for them, but helping them make good decisions and giving them the consequences of and that kind of. So it's upon us to make sure that we don't forget how we got here, where we came from, and all of those shoulders that we stood on to get to where we are now. That we do the same for our young men and women who are coming behind us.
Definitely. And you know what, Q, I would I don't know if you were already on when Coach P had already explained, because last week you had a question for Gil about how the protection of the kids and all of that. And he had already addressed that, I think, right before you came on. Were you already here when he talked about that?
I'm not sure. I don't think so. No, I wasn't.
Because he spoke, as to, their protection and how they don't tolerate a lot of things that are going on the campus.
Okay, I did hear him. I did hear him speak
media.
of something like that. But my question, by me having a girl that's going away to college, my son he chose the military over college, and my youngest daughter, she's looking at Perryview, so my whole
what does she want to major in, Q? What does she want to major in?
Science, because she wants to go into sports medicine,
physical
therapy, sports medicine.
Yeah.
That's what she wants to go into.
And Prairie View has excellent programs. They have an excellent nursing, a nationally ranked nursing program. There's science programs. So again, when I say we want kids to come to Grambling State University, they got to go to what's the best fit for them. But I guarantee you, if there's something out there that your child or another child wants to go, there's an HBCU that offers it. I guarantee you, there's an HBCU that offers it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and that Grambling was on the list that I gave her to research. She did look at Grambling, Southern, um, FAM, Tuskegee. I come from a HBCU family.
Okay.
Um, I Tennessee State, Fisk, Morehouse, Spelman, Lincoln.
Yes.
I oh gosh, there's so many. Howard, Hampton.
Yes.
So I come from a family that is big on going to HBCUs. I had a couple of them that chose not to, but they didn't get the experience that I did or the ones that went to an HBCU. Um, they didn't have the same experience, or they don't have the same attachment or bond to their schools like
Right.
the ones that did attend the HBCU. They don't have that bond. They don't speak or speak with the passion about
Right.
the school
Right.
versus the ones that went to a HBCU. But
Right.
my thing with any school, because my daughter, initially, I told Gil last time he was here, initially, she was dead set on going to UCLA. That it was no question. She wanted to go to UCLA. So we went to UCLA for her 16th birthday. We went out to California and toured the campus. And the one thing she had a problem with was the main thing was she was like, okay, I don't see a lot of me out here. I mean, I don't see me out here anywhere.
Not at all.
At all.
Right. And
At
I
all.
think she started counting. I'm like, you so rude, but she started counting how many of us were actually coming across as, she saw as students. And she was like, seriously, there are no black people out here. And I think we counted maybe 13 people, maybe
Right.
out of
Right.
all of those people. And then she was like, it's so big. How do they know what students are what? She couldn't understand that. And, one thing I told her, now Lincoln University, Missouri is an extremely small university. It's small, it's very small. But there is a family element to it because it's being so small. But I told her when you're in a school like UCLA, you're just one of many.
35,000.
You don't get that individual attention or get that family feel at a school that big like you would at a HBCU. And I think after leaving UCLA, as much as she loves California, which that was her thing. Well, do they have any HBCUs out here? I'm like, unfortunately, no.
Unfortunately not.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, because now I wanted to go to USC, but I was told I had no choice. I was going to Lincoln University. That's a family school, and I have my mom, my aunts, uncles. I had a lot of family that went to Lincoln, and I was told, well, that's not where you're going. You're going to Lincoln, and I'm like, no, I'm not. And yeah, that's where you're going. But I gave my daughter the choice, and I told her, now if you want to attend UCLA, that's fine. She was like, no. So that's when she started looking at HBCUs. And FAM was her Howard was her number one pick. Then it went to Tuskegee. Then it went to FAM. And now she's pretty much stuck at Prairie View. But any school that she goes to, my biggest concern, like I told Gil before, is the whole sex trafficking. That's my biggest fear of my child going away to school. That's the biggest fear that I have because I know it exists and I know people who've had children that was, in that was sex trafficked, but they weren't kidnapped or taken out, taken away from their family. They were going to school every day, but they were being used
They were
as
involved in
sex
stuff.
slaves.
Yeah. Oh,
And
Well, Q,
that's my biggest fear.
Q, can I say this? We pride ourselves, and like you said, Lincoln is a small environment. We're a small environment at Grambling State University. Also, we pride ourselves on getting to know our kids because a lot of times in situations, people just overlook. They don't see certain things. They don't see, You know, I'm nosy. When I say I'm nosy about our kids. I'm nosy.
Yes.
If I see your baby Q talking to a knucklehead, I will walk over
Okay.
to him and say, "Hold up, baby, come here, come here." That boy does not. He doesn't mean you
right.
any good. He a 6-year senior, and he's still taking sophomore level courses.
Yes.
He is not. Every semester when I see a freshman come, that's what he's doing. He's out here on freshman roll. He needs to get his butt off, and the guys see me coming, they start walking off. I'll holler at you later, because it's important that, like you said, if you see something, you say something. If I see a kid, especially you see a young lady who's bubbly, who's friendly, and all of a sudden she's not like that, and something is going on, I will literally, people around us will literally, our staff will, hey, come talk to me. What's going on? What's happening with you? What's wrong with you? Right. That kind of thing like that. So it is a family atmosphere. Yes. Can you miss something? Yes, you can miss something.
Right.
But when I tell you literally, as the VP of student, literally, I go walk the dorm sometimes, just at night or whatever like that. I just go walk the dorm because I want to see who the young man is hanging out there trying to serenade somebody on the street corner.
Right.
And I'm like, son, you are not our student. You are not a student at Grambling State. Oh, yes, I am. What's my name? And every kid on campus, the first thing they say, well, if you don't know who he is, then hey,
you're not
a student.
You're not.
I immediately tell them, son, if you want to come to university, I will help you get admitted, but you will not stand out here in a car in front of the girls' dorm and solicit out here in front of our dorm. It's not going to happen.
Right.
So and we have. Go ahead, Ben.
No, Dr. P, I was gonna say, you said a 6-year student, and they're not even a graduate student.
Exactly, so, not a graduate student.
You know what I'm saying?
He's taking sophomore level courses. He didn't expended just about all of his financial aid. Everything. He around there trying to, I'm in the class. No, you shouldn't be in the class with a freshman. You're a 6-year senior.
Right. And Dr. P,
a 6-year student, not senior. Yeah.
Dr. The conversation that we did have last week, with Gil in reference to social media and in reference to just the presentation and just making sure, if in the event that there are students that are not representing the college, the university themselves, the particular organizations that they represent at the college level, is there social media policy within the athletic department? And if so, what are the consequences?
There's an NCAA social media policy. You will see young men and women lose scholarships for drinking, smoking, or exhibiting unsportsmanlike behavior on social media. So social media is a huge issue. We have every semester we have several seminars when it comes to social media. Our president actually has a class that he teaches on campus. It's a leadership class, but where he talks to kids every day about making mature decisions and about going. The class is more like a class about life and about choices and finding out how we navigate through these turbulent years. But social media is something that, as an athletic department, yes, we monitor. Yes, we counsel. We strongly counsel, and if you still don't want to listen, then there are definitely consequences for your actions that you're putting on social media. So yes, social media, as big as it is, we are very conscious of that. We have kids who want to protect the image of our institution and want to protect the image of our sports, who are readily here to say that no, that's not right. You can't do that. You can't post that, or you can't keep that out there. So yes, we do deal with.
Do you have a team? Do you have a team set in place that actually is directed towards monitoring a lot of the social media that goes on around the campus?
When we say team, our student affairs division, our housing division, because let's face it, if something's going to happen, they're going to know about it in housing. They're going to know if something is on campus. They're going to know about it in the housing. So we have great student leaders. We have great housing RAs who are informative, who let us know, like for instance, we had a situation with a young man who was troubled. He literally was thinking about hurting himself. And, that's one of the things that we talk to kids about. There are so many pressures, and we don't know, no one knows where someone is coming from or what they're having to deal with on a daily basis unless you know something about them. And kids got together and they say, hey, Coach P, this young man right here is trouble. We think we got to the young man. Young man now is doing great. He got the help. He was having some chemical imbalances. He was diagnosed as bipolar, but it was manageable through medication. The kid is about to graduate now, and to this day he'll come up and say, "Coach, thank you for just having enough, enough just to say something to me because you saw something was wrong, and now I'm on the right track and I'm going to be fine. I'm going to graduate and I'm going to be fine." Matter of fact, I saw him the other day and he was just as happy. He said, "Coach, I'm getting out in the fall. I said, "Man, I'm so happy." And those are the things that we live for. Those are the things that we take pride in, not the ones that are going to make it regardless. And like, Q, your daughter is probably she's gonna make it wherever she goes in school. She's gonna be fine. She's gonna be great. Those kids who don't have that support system, who don't have those backgrounds, who don't have, those are the kids that we know for sure that your daughter and us, we can help that kid get to where they need to be.
Right.
Well, I do talk to my daughter a lot about a lot of the mistakes that I made in college, because I'm
not all of my. I mean, Q, I'm not telling I told my daughter I ain't telling you everything because I know Lord.
Well, no, I don't tell. No. Some stuff goes to the grave with me. Some stuff is
Q.
like the CIA. It will never be repeated.
Right. Under interrogation.
But I told her. Yeah. But I tell her a lot of the stories and things that went on to people. There was a young man, and I tell her this all the time. I told my son and my other daughter. I've always told this story, and even to their friends, because this was one of the saddest things I've ever come across. There was a young man. Both of his parents are doctors. They're both doctors. One is a psychiatrist. I forgot what his father did, but they were both psychiatrists. So he had big shoes to fill. His siblings were, professionals. So he had big shoes to fill. So when he was in college, he was a straight A student. He did not party. He did not drink. He did not really socialize, and they were always trying to get him to, come out, go here, go there, try to get him out. But he always refused. He was always very much into his books. Like, he didn't believe in partying. So this was his senior year. And they talked him into going out his senior year. They was like, "Come on, go out. It's your senior year. You're about to graduate. Have fun one time while you're here." So he agreed. And they thought it would be funny to spike some weed and have him smoke it. And I don't know what it was spiked with. I couldn't tell you. But I know the people who actually did it, and they thinking, "Oh, well, we just gonna see how high he gets. We're gonna see what happened." Was this young man had never even taken a drink before, not even one, and they got him so drunk and high, he literally lost his mind that night. And they called his parents. They put him in the hospital. Until this day, his family spends thousands of dollars for what do they call, private investigators to go and find him, because he'll take off and he wanders the street. He his mind is completely messed up now. He wanders the street. He goes missing for months, and they was send people out to look for him, and his senior year, and all because all that pressure that was put on him to go out and just quote unquote have a good time. And these kids thought it was funny, and they got into a lot of trouble legally for doing that. But that's what I tell them. You guys, you don't sit there and you take drinks, because I've seen it. You don't take the drinks. And they're a lot more craftier and clever than they were back when I was in school in the early 90s. But that was the worst thing I've ever seen, to watch this young man who was months from graduating. And I mean, if he made a B, he felt like he failed. You know what I'm saying? He really wanted to become a doctor. And I can't remember what field, but he was looking to become a doctor. I take that back. He wanted to be an anesthesiologist, is what he wanted to be. And he really and truly studied hard, did not do anything. And they convinced him one time, just
That's
one
all it takes.
time to go. And that's what happened to him. And, I stay on my daughter, telling her, you cannot allow
Right.
these people to get into your head and, convince you to do something you already know is against what you stand for.
Right.
You know,
Right.
she doesn't, she won't drink. Her father, um, was, had a drinking problem, and he passed away last year, which has given her the motivation to not want to drink. And
Right.
like I told her, if that's what, don't allow anyone to come in and change your views, because it's the unpopular thing to do. If that's
Right.
what you want, then, if that's how you view, drinking as something that you never want to do, or you don't want to do, make sure you stick to that, and don't allow people to bring you drinks if you do, and don't
Right.
allow people to, do give you anything that they bring to you. You let them see, you let them show you, or you go to get your own drink. You don't sit up there and
Right.
let people
Right.
bring you a drink and say, here you go. You don't know what they're doing.
Right. But
But
you have to teach them to protect themselves at
yeah,
all times.
I have told that story to my nieces. My niece, I have three nieces. I told them, I make sure that I let these kids know. My sister, I have a younger sister and a younger brother. They're in their late 20s. And when they were in college, I told them the same thing. I'm like, you guys, you're going to have to be really careful, because what people will do, you know, under the pretense of being funny, can really mess you up in the long run. It can really screw you up. And I think back to that young man, and to know that to this day, his family would find him, put him in a mental hospital. They would let him come home, and he's fine. And then one day they'll wake up and he's gone, and they can't find him
Oh,
for another 3 or 4 months. And they're
it's
just spend
sad.
money. Yeah, it's so sad. And his brain is fried. It's
Yeah.
literally, his brain is
But
fried.
Doc, you know what, Q, that brings up a point in reference to Grambling in terms of logistics a little bit, just what Q was talking about. The Where is the infirmary on the campus? Like, if students get sick, we all know that there are mental health situations, and it's generational. Sometimes you all are gonna get a mental health situation.
Hmm.
Um, and not. So for those students who have mental health situations, do you have the facilities for that? And for those that, those the athletes, something happens, they break an arm or something of that nature.
Yeah.
How, what's the where do they go?
Yeah. Well, first of all, for our general student population, for any of our students rather, we have on campus. It's Foster Johnson Health Center. We have
Okay.
on-call people. We have on-call people 24 hours when it comes to the counseling center. There's an on-call person 24 hours a day. So if a call is made, especially if it comes from our police department, those counselors, as again being in student affairs, I've been literally,
Mhm.
um, um, I'm like the father. Like, so if something happens on campus, I'm coming. I live 5 minutes away from campus, so it doesn't matter what it is. So if a kid is in trouble or something like that, or something happens, I'm
You
gonna go
there?
wherever that is where those kids are. So that's just who I am, part of what I do and who I am and how I feel about our students. But we have excellent staff, excellent our trainers. Is from an athletic standpoint, our trainers do a great job. I mean, literally owning those kids as far as making sure any injuries, anything that happens to them, we're getting them to the proper medical facilities or doctors, following up on them, even to the point where they use their own vehicles if need be to take a kid to the hospital or take a kid to an appointment or something like that. So we pride ourselves on making sure that we are available, and that availability, and the kids know now our counseling center, and you guys, this is kind of alarming. Our counseling Center is now they have an increase in cases of over 300%. And there's two ways that you look at that. You look at it because the counseling center is more accessible, that people know about, and the fact that there's not as much stigma attached to the fact that like as far as mental illness or people are having trouble. So that's the good thing. But our actual counseling appointments and that kind of thing, I mean, when I say over the last 3 to 5 years have increased over 300%, I mean literally. So kids are asking for help, which is good. They're getting the help, which is good. We're looking to add more counselors because of the fact of that increase. We're also looking at counselors from the athletic standpoint because mental health in athletics now, we had a young man who killed himself, not on our campus, but in the NCAA, who killed himself from the pressures of in athletics. And that brought a lot of attention, to the fact that, hey, these kids are under a tremendous amount of pressure. So we have to have those avenues for those kids to express themselves, to seek help, to get help. So you will see within the next year to 2 years that every major institution or every institution will have a mental health professional dedicated to athletics, period. Dedicated to athletics.
Oh, okay.
Okay. That's good.
Jill and they, what's the food? What's the cafeteria like? What's up? Like
24/7, baby. Tell them, Gil. We got 24/7.
Yes, honey. Yes, that's what I'm talking about. But now, what kind of food?
Sodexo Magic, baby. And when I'm talking about you coming to Louisiana now, you can't stay here unless you can cook now. You got to be able to cook. So, come on now, Bama. So we have 24/7 cafeteria services. And Gil, I'm sorry I jumped in. I should have let you answer that, Gil. But when I say that's the greatest thing since sliced bread, these kids,
that's right.
24/7, they can go to the caf.
Absolutely. So in July of last year, we signed a contract with Sodexo Magic, which is Magic Johnson's catering company.
Oh wow!
And so we went to 24-hour dining services. So if that kid gets up at 2 a.m. and is hungry, doesn't have to wait till 8 o'clock till the cafeteria opens or the dining facility opens.
Thank you.
They can go there right then and there. It's part of their meal plan, unlimited swipes. So it's great food. Soul food. They do have. There's certain days that don't have crab legs. It's great food. Absolutely. So
wait a minute, hold up. This is ridiculous. Crab legs.
This is magic, baby. Everything you touch turns to gold. This is magic, baby.
Yeah.
Because I do have a son that loves to eat all night long if he can.
Well, I tell you what, now he gonna go to sleep at some point because he gonna have to get up in the morning for them weights at 5 o'clock in the morning. But yes,
and the good thing about him is he has the old man syndrome. He goes to sleep when the sun goes down, and if he can,
right?
And he gets up when the sun get ready to come up. The crow, the roosters are crowing, and that's when he wants to get up. He's always been like that since birth, but he want to eat.
We also have.
We didn't have 24. I didn't have 24-hour dining when I was.
Yeah, but most of the people who we deal with don't have the 24 dining. That was something that was navigated. Well, it was within the contract. We also have Chick-fil-A. We have Firehouse Subs. We have what's the other one, Gil?
Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Yeah. So and we have
all these are located on the campus.
On the campus.
Pizza Hut, on the campus. Yeah, in the food court.
Nice.
In the food court. Yes.
But keep in mind, this is what's going to happen. It will bring new definition to the freshman 15.
Yeah, oh yes, it's freshman 30 now.
Okay.
But we do have a great guy.
Anything for vegans? Anything for vegetarian?
Vegan? Yes. We have a lot of international students as well. Okay. So a lot of the international students. So we do have vegan meals as well. Yes.
Gil, can you just do me two things? I know that you have this awesome relationship with other countries, other islands in the and so I just want you to expound a little bit on that, and I do want you to go over the mathematics about that in-state tuition situation one more time, one more again. So first the international and then the tuition.
Absolutely. So we have a large international presence here at Grambling. A strong presence from the Caribbean, the Republic of Dominica, not Dominican Republic. All right, so there's two. So I don't want you to confuse the two. So the island of Dominica, excuse me,
Dominica.
Dominica, right? And so Saint Lucia also. So we have a great relationship. So the large majority of our international students are coming from the island of Dominica. Um, and of course, some from Saint Lucia. We also had have a presence with Saudi Arabia. We get a lot of Saudi students that come to Grambling. So a lot of these countries, what they do is they sign contracts because what will in those contracts we can give them also as international students, we can give them in-state tuition, but the criteria is a little bit different. So they can say as long as they have a 3.0 GPA, that we can give them the international. Now, with regards to the in-state tuition for out-of-state students, an out-of-state student can will pay in-state tuition as long as their GPA is a 2.5 or higher. Okay. Or if there aren't any athletic team or any spirit organization, they will also get in-state tuition. Okay. So that's a huge factor. You'll see a huge difference in your financial aid with you getting that in-state tuition. And so it's actually a scholarship. Once you're here, you must maintain a 2.5 college level GPA of a 2.5 or higher. So it incentivizes you to make sure that you're on the right track, you're doing what you're supposed to do in order for you to get that in-state tuition. So
What's the in-state tuition? What's out-state tuition?
the difference?
What is it now? What is it?
The cost, tuition wise, you're looking at about 14,000 for out of state. In state, you're looking about, I'm not it's 7,800. That's full room and board, all meals, everything per semester.
Wow.
So you can be under 15 grand a year if you're staying in the dorms, full room and board, with all of the unlimited meals. At Grambling, if you're paying the in-state tuitions, that's huge. Yeah. So think about it.
So here's the scenario. If I have somebody here in Philadelphia and they have a 2.9 GPA,
Right.
and everything that you said in terms of the major, all that good stuff and they want to attend Grambling.
Right.
Instead of them paying $14,000,
right,
potentially they have the ability to be able to pay in-state, which is $7,000
per semester. Right, 7,000 per semester, and so then your total cost. And so it also depends on the type of dorm. So if we're saying traditional style dorm, you can per year you can pay under. You can pay under 15 grand, as opposed to you paying close to 30 if you're out of state, and you're staying in the dorms. Now, the fancier the dorm, the more expensive. So if you want your own room, it's going to be a little bit more. But as if you go with traditional style dorms, then you're paying the more affordable cost.
Okay, Gil, I do have a question.
Yes.
Do you have any information about the ROTC program there?
Absolutely. So we do have the Army ROTC and Air Force ROTC, and so that's a battalion that's done with Grambling, Louisiana Tech, Louisiana Monroe, that we all are part of the same battalion. Okay. Now, if you're part of the Army ROTC or the Air Force ROTC, if you're a contract cadet, okay, contract cadet is huge because that pays you that monthly stipend every month as long as you're enrolled, and then of course it puts you on pace when you finish to you become an officer in the military. Okay. Contract cadet stipends are pretty good. You can get up to $2,500 a month if you're a contract cadet stipend. Okay.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, you get E5.
My daughter is thinking about doing the military scholarship for ROTC, and what I wanted to know is they do have to fulfill that obligation after graduation. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Is it now? Can they do that reserve, or do they have to enlist?
It depends on the need. No, so when you're doing ROTC, it's for you to become an officer, not enlist. So there's a difference.
Right.
Prior service military, and so there's a difference. Officers get paid more. So
Right.
it's really an 8-year commitment. I don't want you. A lot of people are going to say, "Oh, it's a 4-year commitment." No, it's an 8-year commitment. Okay. So, but the language is, you can do 4 active, and then you can do 4 inactive. So that is in the event of a war that they'll call you back because you're still under contract. It's always to meet the needs of the military. So it's not about
Gotcha.
meeting your needs; it's about meeting the needs of the government.
Gotcha.
So you got to keep that in mind. So, but I'm going to tell you right now, a college degree and prior service military as an officer, you're pretty much writing your ticket of where you can work at. You know,
Okay.
in order for you to become an officer, you at least need to have a secret clearance. So you got it. That's another opportunity right there.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
my cousin went in. He graduated from Hampton,
Okay.
and he went into the Marines
Mm-hmm.
after graduation, and he went in as an officer, and he just retired. I think he graduated around 95,
Okay.
and he retired last year, I believe,
Right.
from the Marines as a colonel. I forgot. He was pretty. He was ranked pretty high.
Right.
And I don't want to say his rank wrong, so I'm not going to say exactly what it is, lieutenant colonel. Something I don't know. I don't want to say it wrong, but
Mm-hmm. You could have been a
he
lieutenant
was
colonel or
pretty
a full
high up
bird.
there.
Mm-hmm.
Huh?
You could have been either a lieutenant colonel or a full bird colonel.
Yeah, I know it was colonel,
Yeah.
but I don't know what colonel or how many stars
And
or
I
general.
apologize,
I
you
don't know
guys,
how that
again.
works.
The
But
audio is going in and out on my
he
end.
he
I
went
did
pretty
try to
high
hook my phone
into
up
the military
for some power, so
after
but it is
graduating.
going in and out. The weather is getting a little better, but it's the wind is picking up outside. So
Okay.
Um, and he you know, my son, now he went into the Marines straight out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
And, I told him the difference is because he was accepted at Texas Southern and Texas A&M. And I told him, now, had you went to college first and graduated, you would have done the same thing as he did. My cousin did,
Absolutely.
but, he saw the big difference in going into the military before going to college versus looking at my cousin going in after college.
Absolutely.
Um, but my daughter,
So
she's thinking about using the military to pay for school and go through. But her whole concern is what would the obligation be once she graduates? That's her biggest thing. So she's going to speak with the recruiter about it
Well,
sometime this
well,
summer. But that was my question about how does that work coming out of college?
there's always going to be, whenever the government is going to be paying for you to go to school, and you're getting that stipend, there's always going to be a commitment. So if anybody tells you otherwise, they're lying to you. Okay.
Oh,
There's
no,
always
no. I know it's a commitment. I know it's a repayment. You're gonna have to repay that some kind of
right
way. But they
with
get a
your
twenty
time or
five
with your
hundred
money.
dollar a month stipend. Like, is that a living stipend to live on, or I mean, is that for what exactly is that stipend for?
Well, it's your money. What do you want to use it for? You want to use it to pay your car note?
Okay, so I didn't know it was that
right.
much.
Yeah,
I
it's your money.
I was told it was 600 a month. I didn't know it was 2,500.
Contract to debt. Remember, there's a difference. I don't want you to think a GI Bill monthly
No, no,
compared.
no, not a GI Bill. No, that's not what I'm thinking.
Contract to debt is 2,500 a month. Is E5 pay?
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It's E5 pay. Now here's one of the things that's so let's say, so for example, if you go Louisiana National Guard, Louisiana National Guard, not only will you get in-state tuition, but they will pay all of your tuition as long as you're part of the Louisiana National Guard. Now listen to the language. All of your tuition.
Hmm.
I didn't say fees. I didn't
Not
say
room and
housing,
board.
and I didn't say room and board.
Right.
Right.
All of your tuition, which is always it's going to be the lower cost. I didn't say months. I said tuition. Right. You're
Okay.
also getting your National Guard pay. It's going to help you move through the ranks a lot quicker. And by the time when you're done, then you'll go from enlisted to officer if you're part of the ROTC program.
Okay. Right. Okay. Good.
All right.
Any
Mm.
other questions that you all have? It's
No.
is that the hurricane or something? Is that something?
Not
What in the
not on our
world?
end. No, I hear it too, but not on our end. I'm looking outside. The trees are shaking a little bit, but it's not
Bro,
a tornado. Yeah.
listen, we old school. Whenever there's a storm, you supposed to close that down.
Yeah,
Yes.
Listen, I don't
exactly.
play
And
with it.
sit down
No,
and
bro.
be still.
Where are
Yes.
the
My
And be
tornado
grandmother say,
watches?
still.
sit
Sit down.
That's
down, be
Yeah.
something
quiet.
that right there is something that's not just we got a little rain because of the drought or something. That's because that's some work going on where you are, bro.
That's some work going on.
You better I think well listen, Dr. David, we truly appreciate you for coming on and sharing, what you do, your experience, the process with us in reference to Grambling University, in reference to what goes on is on the athletic side and the things that you do just as being I wanna say Big Papa, but I don't want people to think of a rap person, but just being the patriarch that you
Mhm.
are.
Right.
Um, and I think of you. I'm gonna be honest. When you talk, I think of A Different World, and I think of Sinbad. Remember that character, Sinbad?
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Right.
And I
Because you
said that
seem
about
like you're a
Gil.
lot of fun. Like you
I
seem
said
like
that
you're
about
cool,
Gil.
a lot of
I
fun.
try to be. I try to be. Yeah. But at the same time, like you say, they know that we're gonna have all the fun in the world. But at the end of the day, my first priority is that you're safe and that you're doing the right thing. You're
Right.
safe and you're
Right.
doing the right thing. So, and the
Right.
kids know I love them to death. When they do good, I'm patting them on the back. When they do bad, I tell them I walk around with one foot in the air. The other one
Oh,
is somewhere else. Yeah.
there it
So they
is.
like, so they understand that that's that true love, that tough love. Will do anything I can for you to help you. And it's not just me. We have so many people around our campus that would do the same thing. It's just that I'm more visible a lot of the times because I am in around student activities and around athletics, and kids know you. So it's much easier to say, "Hey, Coach P," "Hey, Coach," that kind of thing like that. But I can tell you that there's no greater love that we have at HBCUs than for our kids.
That's right.
Bama girl,
There's
did you
no
see
greater love that we're
Lonzo's
gonna have for our kids.
I
request?
do. I do see it. And Lonzo has said, please ask for both Gil and David's contact information for us. So they
Gotcha.
would like for your contact information for both you guys, please, both you gentlemen.
So what we'll do, with what we'll do, Bama girl, we'll get that information and then we'll put it in on your community. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
There,
Okay.
we'll do that. That'll
Okay.
be no problem.
Ali
that's
has a
perfect. We
question.
want you guys to have the information. It's kind of funny thing. Most of my kids have, not most of them, if they don't have my cell phone numbers because they just didn't take it down. I give all of my cell phone number, my personal cell phone number. Now I am
No
married now.
problem.
I'm 7 months married now. My wife said, "Now look, now these 3 o'clock calls in the morning, but she understands and she knows she's in higher education also, so she knows that if a kid calls at that time, it's something that's serious and the kid needs, and she knows that I'm gonna go. So, but I give my number to all of my kids, and it's a big running joke. If you don't have Coach P number, there's something wrong with you. I don't know why. You can't say you don't know why you don't have his number, but we definitely will give you that information, that contact information. Okay.
Okay.
Excellent.
Coach P. Now, Ali in the chat says, "Do you guys look at athletics outside of traditional sports?" She said her niece is on the rowing team, but most HBCU she can't find one at most HBCUs, which unfortunately is not that I know of a popular or a sport that HBCUs have.
I can answer that, but go ahead, Doc.
I couldn't hear the question. Yeah, I couldn't hear the question.
Oh, I'm
For some
sorry.
reason, I can hear you guys, but I can't hear the question that's being asked.
The question is,
What was the question?
do they look at athletics outside of traditional sports? She said her niece is on the row team. She's on the rowing team, and she can't find a HBCU that supports that particular sport. Are you able to hear me?
Me?
Stop.
No, I
You
think it's
have to, you have
Gil?
to repeat the question. Repeat the question for
Okay.
me because I couldn't hear the question.
TC, ask him for me. Maybe he can't hear me on my end. I'm not sure.
Okay. So Doc, in reference to sports, does Grambling have sports that are not necessarily the ones that African Americans would go into, such as rowing, maybe fencing, those kinds of sports?
We do not have the Olympic sports such as fencing or rowing, primarily because we don't have enough individuals in this area who participate in those same sports to be able to compete against. Our sports are traditional sports. The non-Olympic sports we have, the Olympic sports that we do have are tennis. We have that's women's tennis. We're getting our golf teams back. We're looking at now getting our golf team back in 2022. We have track and field. We have men's and women's basketball, soccer, women's soccer, football, baseball, softball. We have all the tracks. We have cross country, men and women, indoor men and women, and outdoor men and women. So those are primarily our sports, and tennis. We have tennis also. So we do not have fencing or rowing. We don't have enough schools in the area or in our conference that participate in the same sports. So
Okay.
Oh, I want to say this. That's an excellent question, Allie. And if you don't mind, give me a couple of days, maybe until Friday. The White House initiative on HBCUs.
yes.
The talk and the conversation has been around this sport called rowing. And I'm gonna be perfectly honest with you. I don't want to misspeak. I believe that there are 2 of our HBCUs that do, but I just want to confirm it before I even speak on it. I believe that there are 2, but let me just confirm that they have it, and it is it's in competitive mode, okay? And I can get back to Bama Girl on that.
Okay.
And also, in order for there to be a rowing team, you have to be near and around water.
Water, right.
So if you are an inland institution, it may not work, or if you don't even have a lake or a pond or whatever it is necessary. But definitely we know water. But yeah, so
I'll
I'll make sure.
coastal schools having a rowing team. Some coastal schools.
But I don't know about our HBCUs and how many of our
right.
Except for Hampton, and that's the reason why I have to find out if they are bona fide and in full swing. I'll put it that way. It's 7:51. It's like 2 hours.
Okay.
I'm excited about the 24-hour cafeteria. Let me say that I'm gonna take away.
I'm excited about a whole lot of things.
Great.
Yes.
I want to say before you guys leave again, I want to thank Gil. Gil does a tremendous job for us at Grambling State University. He's a tremendous ambassador, and I want to thank you guys for giving us a platform, not just for Grambling State University, but for HBCUs. Period. We need this. You guys, the lives that you're touching, you would not believe the number of individuals lives that you're literally touching and changing. And that's what we're here for. We're here to make the next generation better than our generation.
Yes.
So, I appreciate
it's definitely my pleasure. It's my pleasure. It's definitely my pleasure. I will definitely share this to my Instagram as well as my Twitter. This has been a lot of information that a lot of questions that people have that they just don't know who to ask.
That's
right.
And where to go and find the answer. So it's been my pleasure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the opportunity.
No problem. And not
whenever
only
you
that,
want me on here, I'll be here.
Oh, no
We
problem.
know.
And we know, Gil,
Gil
you got me the
does
other night. You got me good the other night.
Oh yeah, got us real good. Oh my
Man, he
god.
got us real good, didn't he, huh? But
Oh
I
my
looked down,
gosh.
Hey,
Gil.
Gil's
Coach P, I
Gil's over
jumped
here
on. They
doing
were having a
drive-bys.
girl talk session. I jumped on
Oh,
there.
that
Morris,
sound
did
like
you
my
have a
frat
question
brother.
that you wanted to ask? I don't know if they're letting people on StreamYard, but if there was a question, we could definitely ask the question.
Dr. P, I just want to say congratulations on being a newlywed, and
Yes,
I
ma'am.
know
Yes,
that
Congratulations.
yes.
I know that she is a goddess because you
She
are
is.
truly a king, and I
God,
really
yes,
Thank
wanted
you.
to
she
say
is
thank God.
definitely a king. Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you so much. Appreciate it.
thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
Congratulations.
All
And I will
right.
Is there?
definitely. I
Can you
guess we'll
read it?
stay on.
Can you read the question, Q?
I was
They
asking it,
haven't asked they wanted to come on the StreamYard, but what in particular, Morris, is there a particular question that you wanted to ask one of the gentlemen?
Yeah, because
yeah,
we're
because
getting ready to.
we're about to actually end the live, but
Because
if you
we're
had a
about to end
question,
the live.
yeah.
Yeah, I gotta hop off.
Okay, and Gil has to hop off.
Mhm.
Right. This is the thing. We've been on for a minute now, so we're gonna have we'll have other situations, but right now we're getting ready to our folks are getting ready to have to leave. And
Well,
Yes,
if there's any questions, then they could email them to you, Bama Girl.
Yes.
You
okay.
can, yeah,
All right,
TC, you
and
can
that's
upload the little thing
that's
I
good.
just text you, the little picture with my contact info. You can upload it. I don't care.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Mhm.
And
We will.
I'm not as technologically savvy as Gil is. My wife is. She would get on here and she'd be like, she set it up for me and everything. She'd be like, blah, 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 and here's my contact, so I can give you my email address is Pontond, PONTOND.
David, doctor, we got it. I'll get
Got
it.
it.
We'll
Excellent.
get it, and we'll everything in order.
Excellent.
Okay.
Great.
Right.
Great. Sounds good, TC.
All
Okay.
right.
Okay, so you're kind of upset. Okay, well,
Bama, we're not gonna worry
we'll
about that
have
right
to
now.
save that one because the gentlemen do have prior and other obligations. I hate that you joined the live so late, but I completely
If it's
understand.
Bama
They
girl,
have
if it's something I need to stay, if it's something that I need to stay on and answer, if someone has something pertinent, then I know Gil has to get off. I have no problems. doing
Okay. Okay, well, I'll bring you on,
Mm.
Morris, Gil. Thank you so much for joining us. Please, thank you so much. I appreciate every time you come on. You're more than welcome.
Thank
And no
you.
more
Y'all
surprises,
be easy.
Gil.
Y'all
You
stay
catching
safe.
us off guard.
Not on girl talk. Thank you
You
so
catching us
much.
off
Good
guard.
night.
All right.
Thank
Good
you,
night.
Gil.
Good night, Gil.
Yeah, have a good one.
And so, Morris, I will share the link, and that way you can come on. Yeah, baby.
Bama Girl.
Uh-huh.
I had 3 bodies. I had down you. Sniper. See, just let me know who I'm marked. I'm trying to get that for you. Sniper. I can tell you at home, no. Yeah, I have 4. I'm material. I had a lot of damage. Yeah, y'all took all kills, bro. Everything I saw, y'all took. And me was running. I cut that boy down. You was shit to that boy. I showed him that boy. I'm still like killed. I cut it. That's the whole game. I swear. God, Terry never wins. Y'all talking? Yeah, I know. You might not want Terry might not.
Hey,
Hello, Gil. Welcome to the panel.
thanks for having me.
Morris.
Nigga, you were a
Oh,
nigga.
wow.
Nigga.
Okay.
Yeah,
He did
So
all
I
we're
that for
gonna
you.
end this.
apologize,
We're
Doctor.
gonna end
I
it.
apologize,
No,
Dr. David.
baby, you do not have to apologize. You know, in these times right here, nothing surprises you in these times right now.
Yeah,
But
but
it does, they just don't realize they take away from the great forum that you guys have and what you're
No,
trying to do.
he'll get
Yeah, you
deleted
know,
out. Don't worry about it.
no, he
right.
got
Don't worry.
banned
He's
out.
deleted. He'll get
He's
deleted out.
done.
We're done.
Got
Yeah,
All
you.
he's
right.
Got
done.
you, babe.
Doc,
But thank
thank
you
you so
guys again.
much.
No, thank you guys so much for what you're doing. And if you come to the Bayou Classic, we might be, maybe Bama Girl, you might be seeing somebody in the Bayou Classic. Somebody But if you guys
Might be
come
some-
this way, come to North Louisiana. I love to cook. We got the gumbos, the etouffee nasha. You come on now. We're gonna take care.
All right now. All right now.
Oh, what not? Oh, yes,
take care of
honey.
you
I
now.
see. I hear you.
Yes,
Okay.
All
ma'am.
right now.
Yes, ma'am. And thank you
Thank
guys
you.
again for all
Well,
that you're
thank
doing.
you
We
so
appreciate you
much.
guys.
Thank you
Yes,
so much
ma'am.
for coming on. I appreciated the wealth of knowledge that I know that you still have, and I would love for you to come back on any given time and just spread that wealth. Because
Anytime.
like I said, I'm going to
And,
share it all.
and Gil
You're
has
a
your
legend.
contact
From what I'm
information, right?
hearing, you are you
Look at everybody.
yourself are a legend.
I don't know about that,
Yes.
but they do know that I
don't know.
love our
I
kids.
think the students would beg to differ.
Well, I appreciate that. I'll make sure I get your contact information from you, Bama Girl, so we can make
Okay.
sure I have my coach contact Quentin. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you
Yes,
so
ma'am.
much.
Hey, how is he classified? I'm just sorry. How's he classified? This is the coach coming out of him. How's he classified?
Junior.
Excellent. I mean, we got another year to work on him then. Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is beautiful. Beautiful.
Sounds great. Well, again, thank you
Alrighty.
guys. I appreciate you guys. You have a blessed day. Stay safe, please.
Okay,
Thank
you
you.
do as well.
All right, have a
Thank
great
you.
day.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Good night.
We wanna.
Thank you guys so much for coming on and welcoming the guys. You guys had awesome questions. You had awesome comments. I appreciate that. Of course, the devil will
Yes.
always try to ease in that can be expected. It's okay. It's definitely okay, guys. Other than that, we are going to end the live right now. I will be back at 9:30. It will behoove each and every one of you all to please be here and in attendance. Now we will be on CP time this time, so a few
Terrible.
minutes off.
Terrible.
You know how I do. So on that note, guys, thank you so much. Thank everyone that enjoyed it. Hey, number one caller. Yes. Hey, Derek, what's going on, Derek? Miss YouTube Streets, how you doing? But anybody that y'all please don't forget to thumbs up the video, share, like, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I will see you guys in another hour and a half.
TC,
See
I'll
you
call
later.
you tomorrow.
All right, now we'll just end it and then stay on stream.
Okay.
Okay.